So you've probably heard a lot about Elon Musk's wild predictions for the future. Well, get this. He thinks we are right on the edge of an economic revolution, one so big it could make our world today look like, well, the Dark Ages. He's talking about a future where AI and robotics create so much stuff, such incredible abundance, that it completely shatters our whole idea of money and jobs. So let's dive into what he calls this tenfold future.
And this quote right here, this is really the key to the whole thing. He says, the output of goods and services will so far exceed the money supply. Now, he's not just talking about a little bump in productivity. No. He's predicting a future where we can make so much stuff that the money we have today becomes kind of pointless. It's a total flip of how we've always thought about economic value.
Okay, so a future of abundance. Sounds pretty cool, right? But how on earth do we actually get there? What are the engines, the real gears, turning behind this whole idea?
Well, it really boils down to two things: AI and robotics. At the heart of this explosion of production are super advanced AI and humanoid robots. Musk sees a world where these things are working 24/7, nonstop, and they're not just assembling widgets on a line. We're talking about them designing, creating, and delivering everything we could possibly need at a speed and a scale that's, well, it's honestly hard for us to even wrap our heads around right now.
Now, when you hear the word deflation, it usually sounds bad, right? Like economic doom and gloom, everything's crashing. But that's not what Musk is talking about here at all. He's completely flipping the script. In his world, this kind of deflation would actually be a sign of incredible success. It would mean we've created a world of such insane abundance that our money just can't keep up. And this really shows you the imbalance he's talking about. On one side, you've got this automated production just churning out a massive, continuous avalanche of goods and services. And on the other side, our money supply, which is, relatively fixed. It was designed for a world of scarcity, not abundance. So it can't keep up. The system basically breaks because it's too successful. Wild, right?
So, okay, this leads to probably the most important question for all of us, really. If traditional money can't keep up, what happens to our income? I mean, if robots and AI are doing all the work, how do we make a living? What does a job even look like in a world like that?
And here's Musk's proposed solution, something he calls universal high income. Now, this isn't quite the same as the universal basic income, or UBI, that we hear about all the time. The big difference is that UBI is often framed as a safety net to prevent poverty. But universal high income? That's about distributing all this new wealth. In this future, the government would basically just give everyone money. Not as a handout, but because there's just so much stuff to buy and the economy needs people to go out and consume it.
Okay, so we've got the how, AI and robotics, and we have a potential solution for our paychecks. But just how big of a change are we really talking about here? Let me tell you, this isn't some small gradual shift. We're about to see just how massive this tenfold leap really is.
So just how big could this change be? I mean, really, let that sink in. Brace yourself, because the number he puts on this, it's just staggering. It feels like it's pulled straight from a sci-fi movie.
And there it is, 10x. We're not talking about a 10% increase. We're not even talking about doubling the economy. We are talking about a tenfold expansion of the entire global economy. That's a scale of growth that's, it's almost impossible to really wrap your head around. And if you think that number is hard to believe, wait till you hear the timeline. Musk isn't talking about some far-off, distant future generations from now. He thinks this tenfold explosion could happen in roughly a decade. Think about how much the world has changed in the last 10 years. Now imagine that, but 10 times faster. That's the kind of insane pace we're supposedly looking at. This isn't just about one magical piece of tech. It's about a whole bunch of different revolutions all hitting at the same time. You've got these completely autonomous AI systems, right? Then you have humanoid robots like Optimus walking around everywhere. You've got robotaxis totally upending transportation as we know it. And behind it all, this incredible network of advanced 3D printing and automated drone delivery. Any one of these would be a game changer. But all of them together, that's what creates this tenfold economy. So imagine that world for a second. Limitless production, everybody has everything they could possibly need. It raises a really deep question. If we solve all the problems of scarcity, what problems are even left to solve? Well, as it turns out, the biggest challenges might not be out there in the world, but in here, inside ourselves. Yeah, because once we clear all the tech hurdles, we're left with the human challenge. It stops being about building the robots and starts being about how we learn to live with them, without completely losing who we are in the process.
And the host of the Rubin Report really hits the nail on the head with this. He says, you can't stop progress. The challenge for all of us will be, how do you manage a relationship with it? And that's it, right? Trying to stop this is pointless. The real question isn't if it's going to happen, but how. How do we manage our relationship with this tech that's just getting more powerful and more everywhere, every single day?
And this is where this huge, kind of abstract, futuristic problem suddenly becomes super personal. The argument here is that this struggle, this challenge of managing our relationship with tech, it's not new at all. We're literally facing it every single time we pick up our smartphones. So the future isn't bringing some brand new problem we've never seen before, it's just taking the one we already have and cranking the volume up to 11.
I mean, think about it. We are already in the training grounds for this new reality. Resisting the urge to check your phone at dinner, choosing to have a real conversation with someone instead of just texting, trying to manage that never-ending flood of notifications. These aren't just little pet peeves. These are the small, daily battles, the disciplines, that are literally the practice runs for the skills we're all going to need in a future of total tech immersion.
And this really sets up what might be the central conflict of the entire AI era. It's not some simple story of humans versus evil robots. It's a much more personal, constant balancing act between progress on one side and our own discipline on the other.
When you boil it all down, the entire future that Musk is describing comes down to this core conflict. On the one hand, you have this limitless potential. I mean, who doesn't want massive economic growth and abundance of everything and universal high income? It's incredible. But on the other hand, you have the need for personal discipline, the challenge of managing our relationship with tech, of staying present, of choosing real human connection. It's all about balancing these two things.
So you see, in the end, this isn't really a story about robots and AI. It's a story about us. Technology is accelerating faster now than at any other point in human history. So the real question, the one we're all left with, is this. As our technology accelerates, can our wisdom keep pace?